Hey guys, so I am back with a new video. This one is actually really exciting because there's been a lot of hype around this new product. I've seen a lot of my favorite gurus do videos on it, and I've been using this product for several months, so I love it and I want to really break it down for you. So today I'm going to talk about the CoverFX custom cover drops. They're really hot right now. A lot of people are really interested in this concept. I am a CoverFX brand ambassador, so this video is sponsored, but I will say that I truly love this product, and I've tested it out for probably maybe like 4 months, something like that. So I've used it a lot, and I'm going to be completely honest with my review as always. So just putting that out there. So the custom cover drops by CoverFX, here they are right here. It's really a revolutionary product. When I first heard they were coming out with the idea, I was so excited because there's not really a lot on the market like this. I am all about customization, getting custom coverage, custom color. As a makeup artist and as a personal makeup wearer, I always mix products together, and I feel like that's the best way to really get your true match. So when they came up with this, I was like, oh my god, perfect, fabulous for both everyday makeup wearers as well as makeup artists. So the custom cover drops are pretty much pure pigment drops that they developed to be mixed with any medium to get your own custom coverage and color. It's kind of like getting a do-it-yourself foundation, do-it-yourself tinted moisturizer, whatever you're looking for. So essentially you just add with a little dropper. First I would definitely shake it up. Okay, and then you add with a dropper. I would say 1 to 4 or 5 drops depending on how much coverage you want. 1 drop is sheer, 2 is medium, 3 medium, 4 is full coverage, 5 is complete coverage. So it's really cool because I've been mixing this in with a lot of my primers to get a custom tinted moisturizer. Also, you can mix them with other foundations to kind of get more coverage or just to lighten or darken the color. So whenever I talk to clients, I always tell them, or even with myself, I have multiple shades of foundation throughout the year because I get really pale in the winter and really tan in the summer. So I always have to have like multiple colors. And that can mean a whole bunch of foundations that just kind of sit around. But with this, it's really cool because I can take just this one pigment and I can use it to darken up foundations that are too light, or if I have a lighter color, lighten up some darker foundations. I can use it to kind of customize how my skin's doing. So if I'm really oily because it's really hot, sweaty, you can use more of a long wearing mattifying primer. If my skin's really cold, it's really cold out, sensitive, I can use it more with a calming primer. So it's just a million possibilities. It's completely do-it-yourself, custom coverage, so I love that. And I actually find myself saving a lot of time when using this product because a lot of times I'll combine it with like my primer that I'm already going to put on. So I just mix it with my primer. So I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different ways to use it. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see me wearing it a million different ways, I've posted probably 10 different makeup shots over the last couple months using it on Instagram already. So pretty much, I usually mix it with my favorite is the CoverFX new Illuminating Primer because you know I like some dewy glow all up on here. So that's my favorite combination, but I also have it mixed in with other different primers. I've even used it with foundation. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have no face makeup on, no primer. I would definitely say start with your moisturizer. Use your moisturizer, unless you can get away with using just a moisturizing primer. So no face makeup. I did put on some eyes and lips so that way it would be like a finished product. So this is really cool. I'm going to use this palette right here from Beauty Blender, and I'm going to kind of mix up some different formulas for you. And I also have this in a darker series. So just so for reference, I'm using G70. I'm probably more like, there's G60 and G70 and G80. Those are like the shades I would gravitate towards. I always go to G70 though because that's like my go-to color. But I would probably say that I'm a little bit, tiny bit lighter than G70, but I can get away with it. G60 I think looks a little too pale on me. So if you're my skin complexion and you're wondering what kind of color to get, I also have G80 right here. This is like the old packaging, but that is totally going to be my summer shade. So when I go on vacay, I'm probably going to pack both of these because I want to be able to customize my foundation to be lighter or darker. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just show you a couple of different options. So What I love using the custom cover drops with is primer. It just makes sense to me because everybody has different skin types, different conditions, and if you take a pure pigment drop, it doesn't have any fillers, no oils, no sparkles, nothing. You take your pure pigment drop and you can pick whatever kind of skincare pretty much you want with it, or you can even mix it in with your moisturizer. So I love the CoverFX primers. They pretty much have one for everybody. This one is a calming primer, so it's good for people with rosacea, sensitive skin. This is the Illuminating Primer, those who like that dewy glow, great for mature skin too. This is the Mattifying Primer, which is good for oily skin. And they also have like an anti-aging primer. They have one for sun with sunscreen in it. So many different ones. And I will say that the type of base that you mix in with the custom cover drops will determine also how long wearing it is. So I do think that if you mix it in with, for example, like a mattifying primer, it will probably last a little bit longer than with a dewy primer. So just kind of things to think about. So today, my skin, oh my god, my allergies have been redonkulous. Like today was a bad day. So my nose is really red. And I'm just like really itchy and just, it's been horrible here in Atlanta. So I'm going to pick the calming primer. So I want to just use the amount of primer that I always use. So it's just pretty much like a dollop, like that much right there. And then I'm going to mix in my custom cover drops. So first I'm going to do one where it's kind of a sheer coverage, like more of a tinted moisturizer. So I'm just going to do 2 drops. 1, 2. Okay. The next one, actually, I'm going to show you how to do, first I'll do this one and I'll take it off and I'll show you more of a full coverage. So you can use any foundation brush. If you use something like this is the liquid foundation brush from CoverFX. It's a flat top, so you'll get more full coverage. You can use your beauty blender, your regular foundation brush, your fingers, whatever you want to use. So since I'm going to go for like a light medium coverage, I'm going to use my damp beauty blender. So I'm just going to mix in the primer with the custom cover drops, and it's pretty much tints the calming primer. And now you have your instant foundation right here. So what I like to do is I like to just kind of put it on my face because I don't want to have all the product absorbed by the sponge. So there it is there. So then I'm going to take my damp beauty blender, and you see my skin's a little bit paler than this, but still it'll work. And I'm just going to pretty much blend it in. And see how it blends in so flawlessly because it's pretty much like a primer, and just, this primer is so good. It just makes my skin hydrated. And just like kind of calms it down. That's why it's called the calming primer. So as you can see, it looks truly like skin. I'll try to post some before and after pics too, so you guys can see what my skin looks like. Blend it down. And that is it. Custom tinted primer, tinted moisturizer, totally custom. So this is like this would be great for people who have sensitive skin. They just kind of want light, like even coverage. So see that? Looks really nice, and it honestly just looks like my skin is real good. So that's step 1. So now I'm going to take that off, and I'm actually going to just like take one side off so you can see the difference. So you'll see on this side of my face, I have a little bit of redness right here, especially around my nose, where I've been blowing my nose all day. But this is just like, this is the side where the light, I would say it's more of a light coverage, but you see the difference? Like it already looks like my skin's really good and healthy and glowy, and then it just kind of looks a little bit sickly on this side. So I'm going to show this to you next with, so that was more, I would say that's more of a dewy finish. Let's go ahead and do the matte primer. So this is a matte primer. I always shake up my primers because I store them horizontally in a drawer, and you just want to make sure you get everything mixed up. Okay, so now we're going to do a dollop of mattifying primer. So again, this is great for long wear, oily skin. I like this mattifying primer because it doesn't dry you out, but it keeps you matte, but it also has like a silicone feel, so that way it kind of fills in any like imperfections. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the custom cover drops, shake it up, and then I'm going to add 4 drops. So like I said, you can totally choose, you know, the properties of the new foundation, your new do-it-yourself foundation. Whereas a lot of times with other products, you can't choose like what's going into the foundation. Let's say you're allergic to some ingredients, or you just don't like the sparkle, the fact that it's too matte. You can really just pick any skincare you want, any primer you want, and just make your own. Or if you really love a foundation but it's a little too sheer, add a little more coverage, because that way you don't have to have a full coverage foundation and a sheer coverage foundation. You just can have just the one. Just need your custom cover drops. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this to my skin again. And then this is 4 drops. So this is going to be a full coverage. And then I'm going to blend it in. This time I'm going to use the flat top brush. So I'm going to wet the top of the brush. That's what I always like to do with my foundation brushes. And then I'm just going to blend it in. The cool thing is that even though you're going for more of a full coverage, it doesn't feel heavy. So you have just the exact same amount of primer, just 2 more drops of the custom cover drop. So it's really good because you get full coverage without the cakiness. And it still just feels just as light as it does on the other side. But this side I can see like kind of like my skin and a little bit of like my sunspots poking out. This side I don't see anything poking out, but it feels just as light, but it's definitely more with full coverage. And as you can see, I have an instant tan. Around the nose, because I need to cover that redness. And I can already feel it drying, so this side is completely dry. But it feels like, you know, it feels like real skin. This side will dry more matte because it's a mattifying primer. Like that. Do you see how it's just flawless coverage? So look at the difference. You can definitely see like some redness still in my cheek here, but it's just completely covered on this side, but it still looks very natural. It's not heavy at all. Like if I took my nail to scrape it, it's not like I have a chunk coming off. So that's that. Let me go ahead and take this off, and let's just try something completely different. So we did primers. Let's mix it in with a foundation. Back to my red nose and pale skin. Okay, so I actually have a couple different options here. So here is a CoverFX Natural Finish Liquid in G60, and here is my CoverFX BB Gel in Medium Deep. So these shades are actually a little bit on the light side for me. The BB Gel is awesome for those of you who have oily skin. My friend Swearney swears by it, and she has super duper oily skin, so the BB Gel is really good for that. It is a gel, so it's a lot more of it's more light. You can build up the coverage, but why not just add a couple more drops of the custom cover drops, so that way you can get full coverage without using all the product. G60 is the Natural Finish Oil-Free Foundation. This is great for more dry, normal skin. It looks beautiful on. G60, however, is a little bit light for me because I like more of a darker finish. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to put some into the mixer right here. So I have it right here and right here. So one more to actually go ahead and add a darker foundation. So this is the custom cover drops in G80. So I have G60, and if I add a little bit of G80, it should automatically tint it. So I'm going to add 1, 2. I'm not trying to build the coverage up, I just want to tint the foundation. Just add a little bit more coverage. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put on this side of my face, I'm going to put the regular foundation on its own. Let's just go ahead and blend that in with a beauty blender. This is actually one of my favorite foundations. I really need to start wearing it more. But I find that I wear their Creme Foundation a lot, the Total Color Creme Foundation from CoverFX, because it's just so flawless. But this just is just as flawless, but I think this looks like it's more of a match for my drier skin. So this is actually, it's a good match. It's just that I just prefer to be a little bit more tan. So that's that side of my face, and then let's go ahead and then mix together the other side right here with the G80. Okay. And just apply it to my face. And then let's go ahead and blend this in. Alright, so do you see how this side has more of a glow where this side looks a little pasty? I just like that, the brown. And if I blend it down, like, it just totally works. But I just added a few shades of G80 to my existing G60 foundation, and this would be fine for the winter, but it's looking a little bit ghostly, but this just looks more me. And do you see that? Just really nice and totally customizable. So let's see, I'm going to do one more combination for you guys. Okay, so something that I don't think I talked about is Creme Foundation. Now, you can also mix this in with the Creme Foundation. What I would do is scoop out a little bit of Creme Foundation. I don't have a lighter one with me, but I'll just show you with whatever I have. So this is Total Cover Creme Foundation from CoverFX in G70. So what I would do is I would take it and scoop it out like that. And then I would just apply it to the back of my hand to kind of warm it up. And then I would just add a little bit of the custom cover drops and then just mix it on the back of my hand like this, and it's still just like, it's almost like in between a cream and a liquid now because the heat on the back of my hand totally melts it all together. And I'll show you what that looks like. This is going to be a little bit tan because I added G80, just a little bit of G80 to my G70 liquid foundation. Let's go ahead and blend that together. So if I go to the Dominican Republic, which I will for my wedding, and I need a little bit more of a tan, bam, here we go. And it's, do you see that beautiful full coverage? Because the Total Cover Cream Foundation is already full coverage. Or actually it's buildable, but I would say like as a cream it would fall to the full coverage side unless you apply it sheerly. Oh my god, do you see that beautiful finish? And it's definitely darker. So if I get a tan, it'll still look just as good. Okay, so let's take this one off. Last but not least, I want to show you like a really fun mixing combo. Because you could definitely, like I said, this is totally do it yourself. You can do whatever you want. You can have some fun with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my CoverFX. This is the Anti-Aging Nourishing Primer. And this is the Nourishing Foundation Primer and Anti-Aging Serum. So I'm all about anti-aging, anything, because it's always really good for your skin. This is the primer that Glam Life Guru, actually I saw in her video, she loves. So I'm going to add a little bit to here. Right there. Then I'm just going to pick just like a, this is a illuminating, like bronzing gel. I'm going to mix it into that as well. If I can get to squirt out. Okay, so here you can see I have the serum, which is like this yellow liquid, along with the Illuminating gel, which is like a bronzy, and then the custom cover drops. So it's a really fun combination, and I'm going to mix it all together. This would be so pretty too if you wanted to mix in your custom cover drops with like your bronzing leg lotion or any kind of shimmer lotion, because you could definitely get like that really sexy tan leg. That's a good idea. I think I might try that. Alright, so I'm going to apply this on. And this is going to be just a really pretty bronzy, dewy finish. And like I said, this is not going to be heavy at all. This might look like a lot, but because it's a primer, as like 70% on the base, it's not going to be heavy at all. So let's go ahead and mix this in. Oh yeah, I can definitely see the shimmer. Do you see that? From that gel, that bronzing gel. And all of my red from my nose is getting covered up. Covering up my forehead. My forehead is actually always tanner than the rest of my face, you know, because that's where the sun hits. So that's why I like to go for a darker foundation, because if I put this, like this area's color, which is a little bit lighter, on my forehead, it always looks ashy. Hallelujah. Okay, and then that is the final result. You see the dew? Flawless coverage. And I've worn this for long periods of time, like pretty much all day. And like I said, it depends on what you use it with. When I use it with more of a mattifying primer, it lasts a little bit longer than with a dewy primer. But it's pure pigment, so it's not going to oil up or grease up or anything like that. So just, you have to decide how long you want it to last, what kind of finish you want. But always, if you set it with powder, you're good to go. Or what you could even do is just set it with a setting spray. If you want to keep that dew, just set it with a setting spray. And you are good to go. So like while I'm at it, let me just go ahead and finish off my face, because it's not complete, right, unless you do everything else. So I'm going to use CoverFX Concealer and Light. This is like one of my go-to highlighting tools. Just going to blend that in. And then let's go ahead and set that. I'm using the CoverFX Illuminating Setting Power and Light. This is like one of my favorite for sending underneath the eyes or any kind of highlight, because it has a glow to it. Okay, so let's go ahead and use my CoverFX Medium Blotting Powder. I really love this powder to set all over, because it's more of a, it's got color to it, so it won't lighten up anything, but it's also on the sheer side, so it won't mess up any areas I tried to highlight or contour. Okay, I'm going to use Suntan Bronzer from CoverFX. You see me use all these products a gazillion times in my tutorial, but this is a good one because it's not too harsh, but it definitely gives me a little bit more shape to my face. And it's not overly shimmery, because I like it for a contour and a bronzer, and you don't want your bronzers to be too shimmery. Okay, let's go ahead and throw on a real quick blush. This is the Insane blush from the Balm in Toile, one of my favorites. Because when you do, you know, all this gorgeous foundation, you gotta add color back to your cheeks. Just a little bit, so you look a little bit more alive. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add one of my favorite highlighter, shimmer highlights. This is a Sunlight from CoverFX. I love this stuff. It's amazing. I missed you. Okay, so this is the final look. flawless skin. And this last combination I used the anti-aging serum from CoverFX along with a random kind of bronzing shimmer gel, liquid gel, along with the CoverFX custom cover drops in G70. Pretty, huh? It's good. And like I said, I think if you really try it, you will be amazed at how lightweight it feels. It's like the coverage is insane and it doesn't look like it. Like it totally looks just like skin, it feels like skin. And you can go as sheer or as full cover if you want, as light or as dark as you want, as dewy or as matte as you want. It's all custom coverage, do-it-yourself foundation. So I hope this was very helpful for you guys. I've used the product for a really long time. I'm pretty much almost out. Actually, I was like, oh, shoot, I don't have that much left. So I will put pictures and more details on my blog at makeupbyrenren.com. I'll take some before and afters. I'll do some swatches. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. You can find these products at CoverFX.com. So I know they also have this at Sephora, but it's sold out a lot of the place, so hopefully you can find it on CoverFX.com. So if you have any questions, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, have a great night. Ciao, Bellas.